All right, dudes, welcome back to the channel. Thank you everybody tuning in. As you see today, we are doing the cheapest intake in the world on the Evo 10s. You guys, a lot of people have this done already, but if you do have an Evo and it is stock, instead of spending $300, $350 on a cold air intake, don't waste your money, man. 30 bucks, you can get this thing done today with a cheap one that you just get from the regular auto parts store. It does hook up to the stock boxes. An extra 30 bucks, you get the heat shield, which is not necessary. You don't have to run it. But as you can see on the cover photo, that is exactly what it looks like with it all done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over the parts, and then we'll get straight to this install. Okay, so to run over the parts really quick and we'll go straight into this install. This is the actual filter we're going to be using, the 8136 Spectre filter. You can also use the K&N ones, a lot of different ones work, but as long as it has a 3-inch opening on the bottom, you should be good to go. So 3-inch opening on the bottom. This is the actual part number for this heat shield. This is the Spectre heat shield that actually matches it. We'll be painting that later, but for the install, we'll just be doing it straight up right now. And these will be the tools you need. This is an 8mm that you see on here. You either need the 8mm or a flathead for tightening this down right here. Both of those work, choose what you want. You're also gonna be needing a 10mm, and you also need a Phillips. I do have a little pick here as well, because we're gonna be taking these little things out right here in a second here, and sometimes it's a little easier to pick those out. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight to it. All right, so first pain in the butt part you're gonna get to is taking these little plastic screws out. These little plastic screws, they do have a little Phillips on the top right here, as you can see. What I like to do is take my pick though and try to get it jammed up under there, that tiny little bit, because they'll just spin inside each other basically if not. And you're able to spin this and give it a little push up, and finally you'll be able to get these things fully out. So go ahead and pull these out, and then we'll be able to disconnect it from right here. All right, so now after getting your little pain in the butt plastic screws out of there, you're just gonna be popping these up just like this. And what you're gonna wanna do is separate this, and you're gonna pull the filter right out from the center area. Which, holy cow, that thing looks brand new. So, after you do that, you're able to reach inside of here, and there's gonna be little clips that are holding this portion to this portion. All you're gonna do, or these little tabs as you call them. You're gonna just push the tabs in, and as you can see, pushing the tab inward and then separating them, it will start popping away from itself. So it's very self-explanatory. I'm sorry I don't have a camera directly on it right now, but you literally, 2 tabs, one here, one here. You're gonna push them inward and then just pull this apart to separate it. And there's that. As you can see, it just separates again. These are the little clips here. So these little things I just pushed in like this. There's the ones on the top, but those aren't a problem. So you just push those in, pull them apart, and it separates. All right, so per normal, I did miss a tool in that lineup earlier, but basically you have a 10mm screw right here that's holding in this portion of the bracket, and then there's 2 little things I'll show you in a second that just kind of like little rubber grommets that hold it in. So take your little 10mm out there, and this literally is just gonna pop up just like that. So pulling that out, as you can see here, you have your little rubber grommets right here. The one was kind of falling out, and those just sit on like little nipple style things right there. So that, your 10mm out, box slides right out. Okay, so now with your front portion out, or both of your front portions out, you're gonna be taking this and just pushing this in just to disconnect this wire from the box here. After you disconnect that there and there, you're just gonna unplug your sensor for now, because you're actually gonna be taking this little portion off so you can modify it. So disconnect your sensor, get that out the way. So you've moved the sensor over, now take your 10mm right here, and you're just literally gonna take this portion off of the plastic back here. And as you can see, I was able to pull that thing right out, so we'll go ahead and bring this over to the desk here, and we will modify this before putting it back in with the fresh filter. All right, so jumping over the desk over here, we got all of our parts we're not using anymore. This is the last section we need to get this done. What we're trying to do is get this MAF sensor area. So this whole little section right here, we're trying to get this box off of it. So to do that, you have a 10mm here and a 10mm here. To get these off, I do suggest, I've done this multiple times, if you are too soft to it and just trying to crank it off nice and easy at the beginning, like when you first initially break it, sometimes it will stay inside of itself and it will like strip itself in there, and then you have to get, and you gotta pry it apart. It's a real big pain. So get on there, give it a nice little pop when you do the first little initial hit there, and then as you can see, these are hand tight already, and these are just going to screw right out. So I'll go ahead and sit you guys down, take these apart, and I'll show you how it separates. So with those out, you literally just pull it up like this, and as you can see, shimmying it apart, this comes off right like this. Go ahead and put this to the side. So now with it all separate, as you can see, there's basically a lip right here. It does have this rubber on here though. So what you're gonna be doing is literally taking this and just pulling that right off like that, exposing this about 1-inch lip right here. And then I actually like to take these little pieces right here and get these out of the way. For now, I'm just gonna push them back. In a second, I'll pull them out. But pushing these back, and that way it's not stopping this. And you also have a little nipple right here that used to hold onto this little rubber gasket, or a little rubber grommet, whatever you want to call it. And we're actually going to be taking that, and I'm just going to take a razor blade, and I'm just going to razor blade that off, and that way this thing can sit nice and flush against it. As you see, currently it is like touching it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that off, pop off your gasket like that, and push these things out of the way, and you're going to be able to slide that over and clamp that right back down. Ooh. All right, perfect. So I cut my thumb, if you guys didn't see that, because I'm an idiot, and sliced it up with the razor, dude. You guys probably could have seen that coming since I was facing it towards me. What an idiot. But did, as you saw, it did slice off that little nipple, as I said you needed to do. And then you're just going to pop out your little metal pieces like that right here. So those are nice and out of the way. All right, and with both of those out of there, with your little nipple cut off, this thing literally, as you can see, just slides right over this. Bam. Nice and flush, just like that. You're going to take your 8mm and or flathead, and you can tighten that thing right down, and then you'll be re-putting that back onto the stock piping, plugging this back in, and we're good to go. So let's get straight to that. All right, so now back over to the car. This is the filter. Like I said, this little lip goes right on there. I did take my clamp off because I'm about to put the heat shield portion on, but usually if you had your clamp there, you just clamp that down onto this little lip like this. You plug that back in, put your sensor back on, and that is the end of it for you. But on this one, we did buy the heat shield. All right, and that is what the heat shield looks like. As you can see, it fits perfect, like perfect to flush here. And I'm just holding this by my hand so it doesn't, but typically it'll have like a little gap just like this. So it has a little gap there so it's not touching. On the back side, as you can see, it is a perfect fitment. It fits absolutely perfect. Again, flush to right here. So go ahead and I'm gonna throw my clamp now over this portion and then over this. I'm gonna clamp that back down onto here, as you'll see me do in a second, and we'll be in it. All right, and there it is, man. As you guys can see, I did slide that portion on and put the actual filter on. Again, that is the gap. As you can see, it's perfect, man. So perfect gap, nice and flush to this. This clamp just goes around the actual shield and then around the filter like normal. You slide that on over the lip and you tighten it down with your flathead or your 8mm. And then you're gonna take it and you're able to slide this right back into this portion. Slide that back in. We'll go ahead and tighten down, not with our broken finger. We'll go ahead and tighten this thing down with a 10mm right here, and then we are good to go. Now, before you tighten this thing down, just for anybody getting confused with it, on this backside, you do have two like little lines that bump right up to it. So these lines that are pushed up on the actual plastic portion, you just bump them right up there. Okay, so now we're all bolted back down. We did tighten down our 10mm over there, as well as the 8 on the actual band right here. As again, you got this nice little gap here. Now when you first put it on though, this thing is gonna be actually touching this little metal bracket right here. So as you can see, I can put my finger under that now, gapping it so it's not vibrating and making noise and all that good stuff. And to get that done, what I did was, you can see I didn't cut this just so I could show you. There's a zip tie here. So around this little metal bracket right here, which runs off of this line, it's sticking up. So all I did was wrap a zip tie on this little metal bracket right here where my finger is on, and I put it through one of the loopholes that was on the stock box that we just had taken apart with it, where the little brass thing was. So the little brass thing that I popped out, I just rigged through a zip tie, tied it around this cable right here, which you'll see there's gonna be a little metal bracket. Tighten that down, and when you tighten it down, it lifts it up just a little bit, and then you'll make perfect clearance. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on the road over here and see what this thing sounds like. right, bros, and that is it, man. As you guys can see, concluding another video here. Hope this guys helped you. If you want to do a super cheap intake and you guys thought this was pretty cool, super simple, as you guys can hear in the video, it makes it 10 times louder. With that stock airbox, every bit of that turbo noise is just getting thrown into a box that is completely sealed, so you practically can't even hear the turbo at all. And if you have a stock turbo set up right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So hope you guys did enjoy. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any further questions, comment in the section below. See you in the next video.